Gang, this is the last step of this series we're gonna do. We've covered multiplayer, we've covered movement, we've covered zombies. We're covering campaign. Usually campaign comes a week early. We don't know if that's happening this year. If we do hear about that happening this year, it will probably be at the COD Next event, which is going to be August 28th. Until then, I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with the campaign this year. Obviously, with the whole like Truth Lies, the website, everything going on, I'm very intrigued as to what the theme of campaign this year is going to be. So I want to kind of get their takes. So we're going to watch this, kind of break it down, and we'll review after, gang. Let's get into it.
No turning back now.
Every Call of Duty player has a favorite campaign mission.
No doubt, Gilly in the Mist.
Black Ops 6, we were focused on delivering missions so iconic that they stick in your memory long after. We are bringing that action-packed blockbuster feel to every step of the narrative. We are giving you more variety, more dynamic moment-to-moment gameplay, and more options to finish each mission.
We can do this loud or quiet.
An MP5, 100% that's an MP5. Let's go, baby. USPS.
The game is packed with
Let's go, baby.
moments of Black Ops mystery. It's a high-octane spy thriller where you're never sure who to trust and what's real. And it's all set against the backdrop of the early 90s. The Soviet Union was crumbling after the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War. The US is the only remaining superpower. The Gulf War was dominating headlines everywhere, and there was a growing mistrust in government, reflected everywhere across the music, television, and pop culture of the time. When we talk about the Black Ops timeline, Black Ops 6 comes after the events of the Cold War, but is directly tied to the 1986 flashbacks in Black Ops 2, the aftermath of which has left our heroes in dire circumstances.
Something you should see.
Black Ops 6 blends the rich and gritty history of previous franchise titles with bold new characters, with veteran Frank Woods as our through line in our story. In this new chapter,
We've seen him in a wheelchair.
Side of Woods following his traumatic injury at the hands of Raul Menendez. He's been pulled from the field as he adjusts to a new role within the CIA, often behind a desk or on the other end of a radio. His protege is Troy Marshall, who's been making a name for himself in the field. Marshall is a reluctant leader driven by a strong moral compass. Marshall and Woods are working with another new face in Black Ops 6, CIA handler Jane Harrow. She's a born leader, fearless and brilliant, and helps manage their relationships within the agency. Woods' ability to operate in the shadows has always been hugely valuable to the CIA, whether they want to admit it or not. And Marshall has the ability to make tough calls in the field, ones that Harrow trusts him to make. But when an operation goes wrong, Woods and Marshall are suspended and ultimately forced to go rogue. They soon realize they have to trust each other to get to the bottom of what's going on. Without any of their usual resources, they have to build their own team, recruiting two exciting new characters in Felix Newman, a technical genius.
Okay, that character right there, Felix Newman. Let me get a freeze frame here. I thought this was Adler in disguise, like in the trailer, because it looks just like Adler with some blonde hair. Like, minus the scar, I guess, it looks like Adler. That was super confusing, and they haven't even mentioned Adler yet, so maybe he really is a bad guy this year.
Newman, a technical genius, and Savati Dumas, a mysterious assassin.
Man.
With the end of the Cold War, these former enemies have become new allies. And with the sudden return of notorious operative
there he is. He's right there.
For months,
okay, so he was missing.
Former ally may have become a new enemy.
So there it is. Adler's the bad guy.
Single-player campaign, we prioritized mission variety and unique experiences. Our goal was to offer players a wide variety of mission types, each crafted from the ground up. One moment, you'll be storming a palace. The next, you'll be pulling off a heist at a casino.
It's pretty cool.
We aim to take players all over the world and immerse them in vastly different experiences. Within these missions, we wanted gameplay to unfold in multiple ways, giving players the freedom to navigate through them as they see fit. Where we have different combat styles, we also have conversation opportunities where you can talk, barter, and manipulate your way into different experiences, and we think you'll want to replay levels to see them all.
So I guess this is going to be another campaign with a bunch of alternate endings. They did this with Cold War, so I'm assuming this is going to be similar. A bunch of, so if you're a big campaign fan, it looks like they're going to have a lot for you to do. Like one playthrough might not justify the entirety of this campaign. That's pretty sick. That is pretty cool that they're doing that. Zoink, boop. I love that they're showing off some mechanics too, like the shooting and sliding and all that. Gotta love it.
We are excited to offer a variety of different enemy types in the campaign. The goal was to provide different challenges for the player. So whether they choose to go in guns blazing or take a stealthier approach,
Line them up right, you can take them both out with one shot. Nice and quiet.
we've continued to push on what's possible in terms of how our enemy combatants behave. Your enemies will be relentless, constantly seeking to outmaneuver you throughout the levels.
Is that Juggernaut?
Push on players' location and force them to think on their feet.
Yo, I will add real quick, I hope they don't do enemies with armor again. That was so annoying, dude. The last campaign was mad annoying with enemies with armor, bro. They can lose me with that.
We've created certain missions where we give you a high-level objective and a variety of ways to approach that objective. One mission in particular takes place in a vast desert in Iraq. You and your team are hunting down missile launchers with the SAS. It's one of the largest campaign maps that we've ever created.
Look alive, people!
Whoa.
They know we're coming!
You'll find that some of our destinations have a startling contrast in look and feel as well. We have a mission that takes
Whoa.
place in an opulent casino
Pretty
in Southern
sick.
Europe. It's unlike any past mission.
They also said a lot of these campaign maps are going to be multiplayer maps. I feel like it's 99.9% certain at this point. We're going to have a casino multiplayer map, and it looks really cool. So hopefully they'll do something
in
like
Call
that.
of Duty. And what the player does in this space is totally unexpected. And another one of our missions we have set in the harsh tundra of northern Russia.
We are excited to offer an array of brand new equipment, as well as some favorites from the Black Ops universe. RCXD,
Hey.
Tranquilizer Trap, Adrenaline Stim, Homing Knife,
Homing knife? That's crazy.
Disruptor.
The campaign is grounded.
Looking
with the
crazy, bro.
expanded
What was that?
campaign
That's like a
map
horror
called The
movie.
Safe House. You might remember we also had
Pulled up
that
too
in
quick.
Black Ops Cold War.
Yeah,
This
they
time,
had
we
like
wanted to
the...
think a little bit more broadly about
What they
the
have in Cold War, they had like
just to
that
have our
board, you
team
know,
hub
like the...
located in a more naturalistic setting.
Whatever. Put all the
it's
clues
in an abandoned
together.
manor by an ocean cliffside.
Pretty cool.
What's most unique is that it used to be a KGB black site, which was operational during the 50s and 60s. This brings a lot of intrigue to the safe house and will allow players to explore and discover secrets from the past. The
Okay.
team is also bringing back the evidence board, which is still the centerpiece of
That's
the
what
safe
it
house
was, the
experience,
evidence board,
but
okay.
with brand new upgrades. Players can view the campaign outline, gain deeper insights into missions, and analyze evidence collected throughout missions.
Okay, the attacker comes in. I'll go.
I think this is where they kind of start tapping into multiplayer and the movement, everything. Gang, that's it. Everything we got there. One thing I kind of want to point out here, it's easy to tell, especially when Call of Duty does movement or whatever, the boards. This right here, the tacks, like the little pins on the screen here, like here and here. Usually you can count those and get the number of missions. Let's see, we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 12, 14, 16. There's probably going to be about 16, maybe 17 missions in the campaign. Pretty cool. It's exciting. Looks like there's going to be a lot of replay value. I was really shocked when they started showing off like how the maps actually look.
Have a startling
Let's
contrast.
see. Let's slow it down a little bit. I want everybody to kind of get a good view of this. What playback speed? Put down 0.25. Mute it so it doesn't sound all goofy. Make sure the graphics are up to. We skipped the main view. I want to see this. Looks crazy, bro. I could already see this being a multiplayer map too, like a divider. Obviously, there's gonna be lanes to the doors on the left, open across the middle through the top for nades, door knives. Probably gonna be a multiplayer map. It looks really, really cool, and how they're like zooming in and presenting it right now is exactly how they showcase multiplayer maps. I'm sure all 3 of these views we get, like I'm sure this is a multiplayer map. The little outside area he's talking about right here, I'll just go and put it back to normal. This is probably going to be a multiplayer map. You can almost rest assured with that. This will be a multiplayer map, and this casino will be a multiplayer map. I feel like that's like a given that the casino, all of those will be. So super exciting, gang. Listen, if you're new to the channel, enjoy the content, you learn something, man, hit that sub button, crush that like button. Catch you all tomorrow for another banger. Let's get it, gang.